It looks like there's a new looper on the loose, but it's not released yet. But there's a video about it. This all came from someone who commented on my channel about the VLP-400 from Valeton. If you haven't seen the video about that looper, it's a fantastic little looper for the price. I'll leave a card so you can go and watch that video. But what they put in the comments was, I'm going to wait for the VLP-400. Now, for someone who's pretty high up on looping, I didn't actually realise there was a 400 out, so I went straight to the Valeton website, and it's not there. Maybe they were making it up. But then I saw one video from NAMM 2025, which was Anderton's, and they actually showed the Valeton booth. And there, in the booth, is the brand new VLP-400. It's not released yet, but I want to actually showcase this video and react to it and show you what this looper looks like it can do. Additionally, as of the 11th of February, aka today, the only place I can see this information about it is on the Anderton's website. It's not even on the Valeton website. Have they released that information too early? I don't know. Possibly not, because it was available at NAMM to go and play with, but I just feel like Valeton didn't make a big song and dance about it. Anyway, we're going to have a look at this video. I'll leave a link in the description box if you want to go and see the full video from Anderton's. Let's have a look at the VLP-400.
This looper came out at probably in the autumn in 2024. It's a super affordable dual looper with a drum machine built in. I use this in my office all the time.
Yeah, stereo in, stereo out as well, right?
Yeah, and what I really liked about this, compared to the drum machine that's in the multi-effects unit that I use, is that they have upgraded the drums.
Right. Yeah,
so they're a little bit more realistic sounding, loads more presets. And the dual loop thing, go and watch the video that Pete did.
Or go and watch my video.
They can either be two completely discrete loops, or what I guess you showed in the demo is where you're doing like a verse chorus type thing.
Yeah.
So very clever way of switching between two loops. However, now as a bigger brother, which I haven't plugged in yet, so
let's just stop that there and let's have a quick look at this. So we've still got two loops. But this is a VLP-400, so I don't know any information about this yet. It is still loop 1 and loop 2 by the look of it, but it's a 2-track looper, but it looks like it's got more. So imagine, as you said, the bigger brother of the VLP-200. You've got dedicated drum switch to hold for tap tempo. You've got a thing which is play and pause, all hold for stack, whatever stack is, and there's also, looks like there's assignable track effects. So you've got things like freeze, reverse, octave, solo, once, and something else.
I really don't know overall the spec.
There you go. They didn't even know the spec as well. But on the Anderton's website, it does say it's 32-bit.
But as you can see from here, you've got the same idea of the two loops.
So yeah, it is 2 loops.
Yeah.
You've now got an extra button to turn the drum machine on and off, which on the small one you have to use the little
Yeah, that was the thing with that one. You had to use the button for the drummer. So having a dedicated drummer turn on, turn off, that's really cool.
on the screen.
Tap tempo, so hold down, you can tap your tempo in for the drums as well.
Yeah. If I'm honest with you, I don't know what this hold for stack means. We'll have to work that out.
Neither do I. We'll work that out together.
But there's a whole load of effects that you can apply to the loops that you're recording in.
Which is on the side of the button, so that
Ooh,
puts switch as well.
MIDI.
Okay, MIDI.
Mic input.
Wait, mic input for the 400. Okay, this looks like it's going to be an RC500 rival. This is cool.
Guitar inputs.
Oh, we're going to have fun with the mic input.
Yeah. And via USB, you can store a certain number of loops in here.
Take loops in and out of it.
Yeah, so we're gonna, when we get home, I think I want to try and experiment with this idea of creating loops using the Yurt Rock real drums, and then dropping them in and then using those as instead of the internal drum machine as well for a bit more realistic stuff. Oh man, you put me on the spot here in terms of how much it is. I vaguely remember this is still under 200 quid.
It's 199, just so you know. So this is going to be £199 in the UK. That's what's on the Anderton's website, though. So take that with a pinch of salt. It might change, obviously, through VATs, through taxes.
Low for that.
Which is
low for that.
It's so much. I tell you, the bales and stuff over the last 2 or 3 years is just killing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of it for what they were showing. But let me just go over to the Anderton's website because there's more information there. So right here on the Anderton's website, we've got Valeton VLP-400 stereo dual looper with drum rhythm pedal. So they've got 4 images of it. They've obviously got this from Valeton themselves. And then if we scroll down, you can see there's the 200 there. And it says, Valeton continues their looper innovation with the VLP-400, a dual looper that offers even more performance and improved flexibility. Run dual loops simultaneously, launch and tweak drum rhythm accompaniment on the fly, and inject creative effects with an assignable foot switch for truly dynamic, distraction-free performance. That sounds exciting. I quite like the look of this. So, obviously, record, overdub, and play, and replay 2 loops simultaneously with improved 32-bit playback. External foot switch support. Fantastic. That's what we want. We've also got 5-pin MIDI sync and more. It says sync on there. I don't know if that also means that we can use external MIDI control yet. It may be further down. I don't know. Just like this little brother, dual looper, but has also a drum machine. But this time it's foot switch controllable with 100 built-in patterns. Extra assignable foot switch. Eject effects in seconds with an extra foot switch from octave to freeze to fade and beyond. We'll go into them in a minute. All your looping projects in one place. Build entire set. 99 onboard project slots with easy import-export with Valeton's free software. And there we go. There's the information. Look at this. So we've got, let's just go from the top, 32-bit, 48 kilohertz high-performance audio, playback, 2-channel input, 2-channel output, supports mono and stereo devices. The input channel left mic adopts XLR TS mono interface, which supports microphone and instrument input. Support synchronization and additional control with the 5-pin MIDI in and out. So synchronization is one, but it also says additional control. So I'm hoping that means that we can use a MIDI pedal with that. That'd be really cool. 2 foot switches, loop 1 and loop 2, can be independently controlled from playback of loop 1 and loop 2. The other thing as well is that one thing you realize with the Valeton that even Anderton's missed on their review is this idea of being able to duplicate the bass loop, where you can quantize and duplicate the bass loop, it's such a big thing. Signable foot switch effects. So we go octave, reverse, freeze, half, fade, once, and solo. Half is going to be important. I think that's going to be an important one. Freeze, don't know. Once, maybe it plays through like a one shot. Solo probably obviously mutes the other track. Supports 2 loop playbacks in serial and free mode. There we go. Overdub support, doubling the length of the bottom track by integer multiples. So if your track's 2 bars and then you press the button, it'll go to 4 bars, press again, it'll go to 8 bars, 16 bars, etc., etc. That's really cool. And I wish every looper had that, because there was only 1 or 2 other loopers that I know that had that, and they're really old. So having something that's 32-bit and being able to do that, that's awesome. Supports stack dubbing recording. I need to understand what that means. So stack dubbing recording, it sounds like you can stack things up. So if I was to overdub maybe 3 harmonies, does that mean I can actually go back through the harmonies, or does it mean that it's all one recording? Don't know. We're going to find out. Supports simultaneous stop and play functions for both loops and the drum machine. Hooray. Supports auto and sync functions. The auto drum machine mode automatically matches the drum BPM to the recorded loop. Excellent. So the loop is the main one, and the BPM matches to the recorded loop. That's really important. Built-in drum machine with loop synchronization. In auto mode, loop 1 and 2 can be aligned without the need to activate the drum machine. Cool. Built-in drum foot switch controlling drum machine switch and tempo. Yes, that's the third button along. That's cool. We've got a couple more things here. Let's have a look. Built-in storage, it's fine. Headphone jack for convenient monitoring your creation. We've got a headphone jack as well. That's great. Maybe you could send a click track to yourself. I don't know. It'll be really cool if you could do that. The built-in storage space for 99 recording projects, up to 11 hours of stereo recording, so there's loads in there. 100 built-in patterns with metronome. I wonder if you could send the metronome through to the headphones. That'd be really cool if you could do that. You can import and export recording projects and update firmware, USB, and it's USB-C, thank goodness. Die-cast metal chassis, and it includes 9-volt DC power supply, technical information, storage about 12 hours, but it's saying up to 11 hours. I'm just having a look through all the other information. Making sure Yeah, power requirements is 9 volts, 500 milliamps. So any power supply, that's really, really cool with. Fantastic. What I want to look at, though, is let's have a look at these photographs. So there we go. There's loop 1, loop 2, and drum. We've got them separately there. We've got this switch again, which is either serial or free mode. I wish they'd make that a button so you could switch it over. You could switch over things quickly. 99 memories there, as it says there. Loop 1, loop 2. Drums and hold for tap. What I'm really happy with is if I create a loop, which I often do with rhythmic strumming on loop 1, the BPM will match. And this is obviously where this auto and sync comes in. You've got your drum BPM there, and then these. So you've got octave. Hopefully that's an octave down. I'm hoping these are signs. I'm hoping these effects are input effects and not track effects. Because if I do a drum beat or a beatbox and I add a bass on top, I want the bass to be an octave down. I don't want the whole thing to be an octave down. Maybe it's not. Maybe it assigns it to the loop, and that is one of the limitations. Reverse, pretty obvious. Freeze may freeze that note or freeze that bar. Half, maybe if it's 4 bars, it goes to 2 bars. Don't know. Fade, obvious. Once, I think is more like a one shot. And solo probably means that if you've got loop 1 and 2 switched on, then solo, if you're on loop 1, if you put that onto loop 1, then loop 2 will just turn off or mute probably while still playing. Cool. Let's have a look. It's lovely. It's just a bigger version of the VLP-200. That's cool. There's the headphone port. We've got a headphone port. Amazing. And there's the back. So there's our combi jack with the right. We've got right and a left out. Control 1, 2. We've got a control 1, 2 there. And you've got 5-pin MIDI. So amazing that's not TRS MIDI, but there we go. USB-C. And then we've got our power. So this is going to get really interesting. I'm going to contact Valeton to try and get hold of one as soon as possible. Let me know what you want to know about this thing in the comment section below. And I'm quite excited about this. The real one is actually because it's not even on the Valeton website yet. So I'm actually excited about this. As I say, I'm going to reach out to Valeton and see if they can send us one. In the meantime, have a look at the VLP-200 review. And I also did a live stream with it as well. They're the two things that have just come up on screen. Enjoy, like, subscribe, all that jazz. And we'll see you soon.